Today we're checking out the pros and cons of Redondo Beach, California. What's up everybody, Shane Inman here, local real estate agent in Southern California, helping families move here from all over. So if that is you and you're thinking of moving to the area, I'd love to help you get started in your search. So feel free to call or text or email me. It's never too early to get started in your search. All right, so today I am right here above the Redondo Pier in Redondo Beach. And so for those of you that aren't familiar with Redondo Beach, it's kind of situated below LAX along the west coast, right here at the ocean. And so today we're looking at some of the pros and cons of living here. All right, so first real big pro of living in Redondo Beach is what you have going on behind me here. You see people out bike riding, hanging out at the beach, just relaxing. You got volleyball and surfing and all kinds of things. So just the availability and options for activities in Redondo Beach is something that I think really draws people to the area, because yeah, you've got right back here, you've got the harbor where you've got some small boats that to take out from there, so you can go whale watching. I've gone fishing off of some of those boats. Just make sure that if you have not gone out there before, you get on some seasick medicine, because it is pretty choppy, especially if you go out to Catalina Island. You can take the boat out to Catalina and fish or spend the day out there, but the water is very choppy. So if you're thinking of going out there, just be sure that you're prepared. And then you've got everything. You've got the bike path here behind me. It goes all the way from south in Torrance all the way up to Santa Monica and Malibu if you want. So you can really spend a day out in all the communities here, just on that bike path going up and down the coast. And then yeah, you've got the normal beach activities, swimming and stand-up paddleboarding and just volleyball and all kinds of things. So if you're somebody that is looking for an outdoor lifestyle, then here in Redondo Beach could be a good option. Like I said, you got trails here for hiking and running and walking the dogs, and just all kinds of things that you can do in the beach community and just throughout the area. All right, and pro number 2 for the area is just the community itself. You've got so many different activities and things going on throughout. You've got here at the Redondo Pier, we don't have it going on today, but there's a parking lot here behind me where they have different markets, outdoor markets going on for throughout the week. So you can go check out farmers market there. All right, and pro number 3 for moving or living in Redondo Beach is just the weather. I mean, Southern California in general is just kind of consistent all year long. A little different this week. This weekend they're actually saying hurricane warning, so that's a big difference for Redondo Beach. But typically it's kind of sunny and 75 all year long. Not a ton of rain, but when it does rain, I feel like people don't really know what to do, because they're just not used to driving in the rain. They're not used to having rain weather gear, clothes, or anything like that. So if you're somebody that doesn't really like the cold, doesn't like the humidity, doesn't like the heat, Southern California could be a good spot for you, especially in the South Bay, because you do get a mixture of a little bit of humidity lately in the summertime, and you do get a little bit of rain, but overall pretty much sunny and 75 for most of the year. So if you're somebody that just likes consistent weather all year long, not having to have a lot of different outfits for different types of weather, then that could be a good option for you. I mean, since I moved down here, got stuff that haven't been able to wear because it's cold weather gear, or super hot weather. It doesn't really happen a lot either. So you might get some random hot days in the winter time, like January. You might have an 80-degree day. So that's kind of a nice change going to the beach in January. But as a whole, you're not getting those super hot days. A little bit of humidity, but nothing crazy compared to other areas. And then if you're somebody that wants the snow, we're only a couple hours to Big Bear. So you do have the option of going up to the mountains for the day and coming back and being on the beach in the same day. So options for weather, but nothing crazy, nothing drastic. And if that's something you're looking for, then that can definitely be a pro. All right, and the next pro for moving to Redondo Beach is actually a answer I get from clients pretty often on why they're moving to the South Bay or Redondo Beach in particular is they're looking for the schools. And so obviously do your research and figure out what's important in your search. And you can check out sites like niche.com and see how the schools are rated. But overall, I do get a lot of families reaching out saying that they're choosing Redondo Beach because of the schools. But obviously that depends on the whether your kid's going to be in elementary school, middle school. They all kind of feed into Redondo Union High School. So there are options as far as the middle schools and elementary schools in different areas of Redondo. But yeah, do your research and figure out what is important to you in a school. All right, so you're by the beach, you've got good weather year-round. Why would you not want to live in Redondo Beach? Well, let me tell you. So what some of the reasons are I get from families moving here as to why they choose not to be in Redondo Beach. First is the cost of living here. The home prices, when you have beach in the name, they tend to be a little bit more expensive. So if your budget allows for, renting or buying in a higher price neighborhood, then there are options for what you might be looking for in Redondo Beach. But there are people that say, it's just too expensive and I can't afford living there, renting or buying, or they just can't figure out what they want in that price range or in their price range in Redondo Beach, meaning that maybe they were expecting a bigger home or a more updated home for the price that they're paying in that neighborhood. So so the first con for not moving to Redondo Beach is just the cost of living there. All right, and the second con for moving to Redondo Beach kind of goes along with the cost of living, and that's just the style of homes here. So I often have families that are looking for a single-family residence, and they're like, okay, I want to be in Redondo Beach, I want to be as close to the beach as possible, and I want a single-family residence. And then they look at their price range, and it's either too old of a home or too small of a home for what they're looking for. So if you're somebody that wants that kind of cookie cutter suburban neighborhood, then that's probably not what you're going to find here. There are a lot of options, but they're going to be either older homes probably that have been built in the 1950s or 60s and smaller square footage, smaller floor plan on the interior. Or often I have families who start looking for a single family residence in Redondo Beach, and then they realize they want more interior space and the exterior space isn't as much of a problem for them, and then they end up going with a townhome. And the reason for that is with the town, there are a lot of townhome options in Redondo Beach, especially in North Redondo, and those townhomes tend to be a little bit newer and more updated, and a little bit larger interior square footage. So if you're somebody that wants over 2,200 square feet or over 2,000 square feet, and it's not a newly remodeled single family residence, it's probably going to be a townhome that you're going to find in Redondo Beach. So just kind of figuring out what's important in your search. If you need more exterior space than a big backyard for a dog, then maybe townhome's not going to be the right option for you. But a lot of the cases here is it's 2 or 3 on a lot townhomes, and maybe the units work together on just maintaining the exterior, and there's no HOA, or it's a very low HOA, so it's not like you're in a big complex, but you're getting that larger interior space, just not as much exterior space. And then another thing to think about on that is a lot of times with the townhomes, the back unit tends to have a little bit larger of a backyard than the front unit, and the front unit has a front yard, but you're using the access of the front yard is probably not going to be something that's going to work for like a dog or something, the way a closed off backyard would be for a back unit. And so that's something to keep in mind, is just what style of home you're looking for and if it exists in Redondo Beach. And the next con for living in Redondo Beach is just the critters that they have here. So, we've got skunks and coyotes and raccoons, and, you've got typical insects like mosquitoes and ants. Although it's not as bad as some areas, like I get bit up a lot by mosquitoes whenever I go camping and stuff, and I can't really even remember the last time I had a mosquito bite. So they're not crazy like in other areas. You do get, like I said, the normal spiders and ants, but you know, probably the craziest one for spiders is the black widow. So you just got to make sure that if you have things sitting for a long time in a garage or something, that you check for black widows in the corner or something before you go move anything. And then yeah, the coyotes is something I feel like is a little bit different. You'd never expect or I wouldn't have expected moving here that I would see coyotes wandering around in a normal town. So it's not like you're out in the wilderness, you're just right in the middle of the city. And yeah, you'll see coyotes at night or early mornings. If I'm out running, I've seen a few. And so that's something to keep in mind. Plus you see out on fences and stuff, people have signs posted saying, you know, coyotes, keep your pets indoors. And then you also see signs posted, missing dog or cat. So odds are that if your pet gets out at night and it's a small one, it could be at risk for getting picked up by a coyote. So something to think about that you may not expect being here. And then yeah, just like I said, lots of skunks and raccoons. So trying to keep things clean at night and not leave out food and trash and stuff that they can get into. Other than that, I feel like it's kind of the normal insects and not like crazy snakes or anything like that. So yeah, those are some things to think about with Redondo Beach. All right, and the final con for living in Redondo Beach is just the same as everywhere in Southern California, the traffic. So if you're somebody that's working in Redondo Beach and you can just be here, it's great. You know, they call the South Bay the bubble because a lot of people, if they don't need to leave, they won't. And so it's great to be by the beach. And if you have a job that keeps you in this area, then you're great. But if you're having to get on the freeway at all and travel to work, that's definitely going to add to the commute. And then if you're in this southern or South Redondo, you're going to be closer to the beach, and that's going to be a little bit of time on the streets to get over to the freeway before you get stuck in traffic on the freeway. So North Redondo, you're a little bit closer to some freeways, so maybe it's a little shorter of a commute time. But yeah, all things to think about when looking at moving to Redondo Beach. And if you're actually thinking of moving here, I would love to help you get started. So my name is Shane Inman, and I'd love to help you get started on your home journey. So feel free to call or text or email me anytime.